All right, for my last sample, last technique, we're going to use some of these color layering stamps. So I'm going to use this little turtle guy here. And what it is, and they have instructions on the back, which is fantastic for people that may not know exactly what piece goes where. So you're going to stamp one solid silhouette, and then you're going to stamp the different layers on top, and it ends up creating a realistic looking image, which is one of the reasons I love these stamps. Now you could try to position all of these stamps on your own without a stamp press, but I like using them with a stamp press because if by chance you don't get a clear image, you can go back, re-ink it, and easily stamp exactly the same spot. So first step we're going to do is the silhouette of the turtle, and then as I'm doing it, I'm going to do this little seaweed guy 3 times with the different colors. So I've got 3 different colors of distress ink. I've got bundled sage, peeled paint, forest moss. So I've got them sitting there open with their lids by them, so I know exactly what color is what. I've got those stamps exactly where I want them to be, so I'm going to close this. It is going to, I just realized I have it on the wrong side. So this particular stamp press has one side for rubber, one side for clear, and I had it on the rubber side, but I want it on the clear side. So let's make sure they're positioned where I want them. All right. Oops. I have my paper right in the corner here. These magnets are holding it down, but if by chance it lifts up like that, like it did with that, it's doing it right now because the stamp is a little bit sticky. I can just put my paper right back in the corner. So no problem if it does that. I'm taking my lightest color. I'm going to ink it. Now for this particular one, they are all going to be a shade of green. There are some layering stamps that are flowers and stuff like that you would choose different colors for. So you see how it's a little bit splotchy there? This is a brand new stamp, and even though I've done the eraser technique that I taught at the very beginning, sometimes when stamps are new, you'll get a little bit of that. So that's why this is perfect, because I can just go back and re-stamp it. Now, if that was the only stamp in this whole thing, I would worry about restamping it again, but because we have several different colors that we're going to be using, I'm not going to worry about that. So the next section, this one goes here, and this is where the clear stamps come in handy because you can see through them, so you know exactly what's going to stamp where. Hardest part is sometimes the bottoms of the stamps want to stick to your fingers a little bit when you're positioning them, which is really not a huge problem to have, but sometimes happens. All right, that one goes there, and then this one goes there. We've got another stamp that's going to be the second layer for the shell, but I need to do that separate because it'll interfere with these leg and arm pieces. And I've already repositioned my seaweed. So now I'm going to stamp in the medium shade. Make sure that everything is covered. Make sure I've stamped on each one. There you go, we've got a little bit more dimension to it. And typically, if I was doing this just on my own, I would take the time to clean the stamps between each stamping. I'm not doing that right now because I'm wanting to make sure that I have enough time to do the whole video, and I don't want to possibly waste time cleaning and make the video go too long. All right, so I don't need to move this because it's going to stamp in the same place anyway, so I don't need to worry about that. Now I'm going to stamp the shell in the medium shade. There we go. And now I'm going to do the bottom one. And by bottom one, I simply mean the darkest color. And why I said the bottom layer, but really I actually mean the top layer. So I've got that positioned where I want it to go. just for fun, I'm going to do the shell part of this one first. And this is where the clear stamps come in handy, because it's really nice to be able to see exactly where those bits are going. Use my dark ink and ink that up. There we go. Don't you just love all the dimension that the different layers give it? Now I don't need the seaweed anymore. And now I just want the last bits of the head and arms. And 2 more. And then this particular set has a few different words in it. One of them is Surf's Up, and then there's Mahalo and Ohana. So I'm just putting Surf's Up on this one here. So I'm going to close it one more time and stamp that last layer. There we go. So now we've got it all stamped. One thing to note is I've got my magnets for this platform wrapped in washi tape, and the main reason is they're really, really strong, and sometimes if they're too close together, they attract each other and they slap together and they can break. So by wrapping them in washi tape, I have a bit better grip on them, and it protects them just in case that happens. So there we go. We've got our stamped image there. What I'm going to do is cut it down just like this one here, so I have a bit more of the green border on it. And then I'm going to turn it into a card exactly like this. But I just love how all those different layers give the turtle a really realistic look. Isn't that the coolest thing? I love it.